Hello, I'm Michael Miller with Catawba Direct Marketing Solutions. Thanks for tuning into this webinar. This is the first part of a three-part series on effective direct mail marketing, which we're going to focus on data and how important that is to the success of your direct marketing or direct mail campaigns. So with any direct mail campaign, there are three main items you need to focus on. The three elements of successful direct mail campaigns are useful data, creative design, and enticing offers. We're going to focus on useful data for this webinar. And the elements of useful data, what we're going to go over is how you can optimize your current customer mailing list, you can pick the most effective prospect mailing list, and then you can weigh the differences between saturation lists versus targeted mailing lists. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually optimize your customer database. And your customer database is your house file. It is the group that is most likely to respond to any direct mail campaigns because they know who you are, they've heard of you, or they've had some type of inquiry about your company. So this is a list of your current buyers, your past buyers, and any inquiries. Hopefully you have some type of marketing CRM database system where you can log in any people that have bought from you in the past, currently, or any inquiries that you've had. So once we take that house file, we want to clean that so you're not mailing postcards or any type of direct mail piece to people who shouldn't be receiving or wasting money in postage and production. So basically there's a few items here that we can do to any mailing list before we mail. We can remove duplicates. So you don't want to mail the same mail piece a few times to the same person. It's a waste of production costs, postage, and it makes your company look a little sloppy as far as accurate mailings. Also, you'll want to run a national change of address update on your mailing list. So if anybody has moved since you've inputted them into your database, it'll actually update and correct the address so you're sending your direct marketing piece to the correct address. We can also do a locatable address conversion system. What this does, it converts rural style addresses to city style addresses, which are more likely to deliver through the post office. We can also run a coding accuracy support system, and what this does is it corrects addresses where it can. It also tells you which addresses in your database will not deliver. That way you're not wasting money there as well. The deceased database suppression, this is if anybody has passed away, you can remove them from your database without having an awkward direct mail piece going out to the family. It's just not a good situation. And then also the prisoner database suppression. This is if anybody has gone to prison, which hopefully that hasn't happened, they can be removed from your database as well, since they're not going to be able to come to your store or purchase anything. So once you have your database clean, it's good to identify your best customers. You can do this with an RFM model. The R in RFM stands for recency, and you want to focus on customers who purchased recently because they're more likely to purchase again. You want to focus on customers' frequency, so this is customers who purchase frequently are more likely to buy again, so they've purchased multiple times. And then monetary, so these are customers who have spent the most money in total on previous orders and are more likely to buy again. So you want to focus on people who have bought recently, if they bought frequently, and then if their customer has spent the most money. So what you have here is a little Venn diagram, and the sweet spot for your customers is where all of these different RFM stats actually combine for this centerpiece. So here we're mailing to the customers who have the highest score in recency, frequency, and monetary value. So if you have a very large database, this is a great way to pick the people who are most likely to respond when doing customer mailings. So once we have your house data cleaned and then we've picked the best customers, we can start to work on branching out and extending your reach through prospect mailings. So this part of the webinar, we're going to talk about identifying your target market for prospect mailings. So what we can do is actually analyze your customer database. We can find out what your current customers look like. And the reason we do this is because if you find prospects that look like your current customers, they're more likely to respond to your direct marketing campaign. So we can find out age, income, net worth, education, household value, presence of children. I'm going to show a quick example of a report of analytics here. So here you can see a database that we analyzed for a community college, and we were sent an Excel database of their house file, and then we analyzed it and found this information out about their current students. So we had the number of adults on average for the database. Most of them were 2. I had another peak here at 1. And then the number of children per household was 1 for most of the records in the database. The household income, there was a spike here at under 30,000. That's over 22.5% of the database had that income level, and then another peak here at 75 to 100,000, which is just over 15%. We also analyzed the home value, household education level. Most of them had completed high school, head of household age. So we had all these different demographics that we could actually analyze on their customer database, and then in turn purchase a prospect mailing list that matched the same demographics, because these people would be more likely to respond. So let's get back in the webinar here. So like I was saying, we can match your prospect demographics to customer demographics. That way you're targeting people most likely to respond to your direct mail campaign. The next portion here is targeting prospects with rented response lists. So this is a great option if you have a very specific target market based on hobbies or interests. So our rented response lists, there's several different versions you can purchase. You have inquiry lists, which is a group of individuals who have inquired about a specific offer. Maybe they've requested more information for something online or through infomercials, or mailed in some type of response mechanism inquiring about a product or service that you might be selling. Controlled circulation list, this is a group of individuals who receive a free subscription to a publication. So maybe they receive a free trade magazine about the printing industry, or if they're a golfer, maybe they receive a free magazine about golfing. And so once again, you realize that these people are definitely interested in a certain product if it works within their circulation or their publication. The paid circulation works pretty similar. It's the individuals who have paid for a subscription to a publication such as Time Magazine, Newsweek, the Wall Street Journal. So once again, if there was a company selling golf clubs and they purchased a mailing list of people who subscribe to a golf magazine, that's the perfect target market to mail to about their products and services. So more rented response lists, you can have buyers lists. These are individuals who have taken the step of paying for a product or service. They've responded to a marketing campaign, direct mail, radio, TV, online. You also have attendee lists, and this is a group of individuals who have attended a trade show, conference, or seminar. So as long as you can find people who match a buyer's list, attendee lists, any type of publication or circulation, if it matches to the product or service that you're selling, then that's a great prospect list for you to mail your marketing pieces to. The next portion here is when to use every door direct mail or saturation list. So previously we just discussed more targeted mailing lists. This is going to go into a more blanketing type approach to mailing to multiple prospects at one time. So every door direct mail is something the post office has been offering for a few years now. It's great for companies that are regional and they offer a product or service that appeals to a wide group. So if you're a pizza parlor or a mechanic or some type of fitness center or a restaurant that a lot of different people can use your product or service, and this is a great way to go because there's no mailing list required for this. We can actually pick routes based on average income, average age, average household value, and then mail directly to those routes for a really low postage rate, which is about 15.7 cents a piece. So this is great if you have a regional business that has a wide customer base that can benefit from your products. So whenever we're looking at saturated versus targeted lists, If you have a product or service that's very specific, you're going to want to mail lower number of pieces, but you're going to have to pay a higher postage rate. But it works out because only so many people are going to be interested in your product, so you might as well really target down and find the people that are most likely to respond. If you have a broad market, you can send out a high number of pieces for a low postage rate. So you can see in this chart here the different postage rates. So for the every door direct mail saturation type mailings, you can see it's 15.7 cents to 19.8 cents for that type of mailing. And then as we get more targeted, if we mail to 5 digits, say 28601, all the mail pieces are going into that zip code. It's closer to 26.1 cents a piece. And then if we're mailing into a 3-digit area, so the first 3 digits of a zip code is 27.9, and then all the way to a mixed ADC. So if we're mailing all over the country, we can mail for 30.1 cents a piece because it's not as saturated. So you have to weigh, is my product or service, is it so specialized that I need to buy a very specific list, or can it appeal to a broad audience so I can do a saturation or every door direct mail type program? And we can help you make that decision as you're moving forward with the direct marketing process. Some other things you can do to make sure your mail delivers: you can have seed records in your data, so you can insert your address into the mailing list to see when the mail delivers. So your address, maybe somebody else in your company's, and then you can kind of see, all right, the mail hit my mailbox on this date, the rest of it must be delivering around the same time. We can also use a US monitor service, and this is a unique decoy address that is mailed and entered into a database when delivered. So there's different agents around the country that have these mailing addresses, and once they receive the postcard or direct mail piece, then they enter that into the database, and you can actually go online and see when the mail hits your seed records. You can also use track and trace, and this is a database that is updated each time the mail scans at post office facilities. So you can track the mail as it goes from a larger SCF unit all the way down to the local DDU unit, so you can actually see where your mail is within the post office mail stream. I would highly recommend working with a direct mail marketing company such as us. We stay up to date with postal regulations, so we work with the post office every day. We can offer you the lowest possible postage rates, so we can prepare, sort, and ship your mail for the lowest possible postage rates. We reduce waste, so we'll clean your database to remove bad records, saving you money. And then we can also put you in contact with list vendors, so we can help you find or put you in contact with proper list vendors for whatever you're trying to sell. So if you need to do a demographic type list or an inquiry type list or response list, we can help you get in touch with the proper vendors for that. That concludes our presentation for today. Next month we'll be doing part 2 of this webinar, and I look forward to speaking to you then. If you have any questions, please give me a call or shoot me an email. Thanks.